Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the video, and today we are breaking down what I think is the perfect advert. In this series, we are going to be taking a look at adverts and seeing what makes them so good or what makes them so bad. By understanding what makes this advert so good and so effective, you can help implement those features into your own creations in future and into your own marketing in general. This video in this series is probably for the more geeky content and video marketers among you who look forward to the ad breaks. And the advert that I think is absolutely perfect is one created by Guinness, and it's called Shane.
Strength, size, power. These are the things a man needs to play rugby. And you have none of these, Williams, they said. But they were wrong. It was the size of his heart, the power of his ambition, the strength of his character.
I was planning on doing a whole watch the video with you on my laptop and kind of like those reaction things, but every time I watch this advert, it makes me cry. So changed my mind about doing that. So there are 3 elements, plus a bonus one at the end, that make this ad so good. The specificity of the target market, the utilization of the hero's journey, and the script itself. The script is such a huge component of it, and whenever a client gets in touch to ask, where do I start with writing a script, or how do I write a good script, I will send them this ad with this actual breakdown to help them create their own script. But we'll get around to that in just a second. Let's first talk about the specificity of the target audience. We're going to start off with being a rugby fan, and then being a Welsh Rugby Union fan, and then being a Shane Williams fan. The more of those boxes you check, the more this video is going to resonate with you. Yeah, I'm saying it's very specific, but this advert's going to resonate with pretty much the entire nation of Wales. But by virtue of talking to such a specific audience, the creators know that it's going to have the emotional impact that they're after. If it can make them feel like this video was made specifically for them, then you're on to a winner. And that leads us on to element number 2, and that is the hero's journey. The hero's journey is arguably the one story that humans always tell. There is the protagonist faces a challenge or a villain, and then the hero triumphs. Huzzah! When you tell somebody a story, they are more likely to pay attention, they're more likely to engage emotionally, but they're also more likely to remember the information. So, a little snap tip, if you want somebody to remember something better, don't just give them the information, tie it into a story, and they are more likely to remember the details. So we have our protagonist, now hero, Shane Williams, and the script beautifully sets up the villain or the antagonist and the triumph. So let's break it down in detail. The first 3 lines have 1 word each: strength, size, power. These are the things a man needs to play rugby. So the scene is set. You've got to be big to play rugby, right? And you have none of these, Williams, they said. This is the one that gives us our protagonist, and with 2 simple words, they set up a villain or an antagonist. They said. They told him he couldn't do this. But what makes this one line even more special is they save his name for the end of the sentence. So when they say, and you have none of these things, it sounds like they are talking to you. The writer has placed the listener, the audience, in the shoes of the protagonist by saying you have none of these things and saving his name for the end. And as this line comes in, we see just how much smaller Shane Williams is than the rest of his teammates. And then we see him overcoming the struggle, triumphant, as he somersaults over the line to score a try, and the accompanying words.
It was the size of his heart, the power of his ambition, the strength of his character.
These short, punchy, emotional sentences realign the values that were stated at the start, shifting the paradigm so that we can see that he absolutely had every single one of those characteristics. I did promise you a bonus element at the end, and here it is, because I don't think that these 3 elements would be enough to set me off in tears every single time I watch this ad if it weren't for the music. And I know this because it's always at the same point when I start to get emotional.
These are the things a man needs to play rugby. And you have none of these, Williams, they said.
The right music in the right place can have the most potent impact on your viewer. And just like every other element in this video, there is power in its simplicity. It's at the crux when you hear the words, and you have none of these things, Williams. But it rouses you and makes you root for him on a primal level. Now you can watch the same advert and feel absolutely nothing. Though, as I said at the start, the target market for this is very specific. And if, like me, you satisfy that criteria, you're probably going to feel that emotional connection, and a lot of what I've said in here is going to make sense. So 3 takeaways that we can use to improve our ads very quickly. First of all, keep it simple, especially when it comes to the script. It's more important to be emotionally engaging than it is to be full of information. Tell a story, because this is going to help people not only emotionally engage, but remember what information you do give them in that story. And finally, try and make your target audience, your target market as specific as possible, because then they will truly engage with your ad. If you keep this in mind for your videos, your photos, or even your written copy, you'll find the quality of the connection you build with your audience, the quality of engagement you get from them, and just the general quality of your content growing exponentially. So what do you think? Do you agree that this is the perfect ad? Do you agree with the elements that I've spoken about in this video? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed content like this, then please do hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for future content. And if there's an advert out there that you think you would like a commercial breakdown done to, either because you think it's fantastic or because you think it's terrible, well, let me know, and maybe it will be the next commercial breakdown. See you then.